How I passed a $300,000 challenge in one trade. So when looking at the hourly structure, we had a clear change of character from this point. So this is the direction that I'm looking at. So when this low took out this high, I was very much intrigued at any demands in this lower section. In this video, I'm going to break down my approach to big funded challenges and how I get through these phase 1 and phase 2 evaluations. I'll also be breaking down the trade that took me through the phase 1 of a $300,000 evaluation of MyForex funds and the analysis behind it. So first things first, do you know what a prop firm is? If you don't, a prop firm is ultimately a brokerage that funds undercapitalized traders. So let's say you were looking to get started in trading but only had £1,000 to do so. What you could do is a funded challenge with that £1,000 and get up to $200,000 in funded capital. So which prop firm should you go for? Now I get asked all the time which prop firm's the best, which gives the best spreads, which has the best rules, and ultimately it's down to preference. What I would say though is initially you should always be going with the blue chip prop firms. The more reliable and longer lasting prop firms are more guaranteed to give you a payout if you hit profit. There has been some cases where prop firms have given really good rules, lots of people have gotten payouts and they've not been able to pay out anyone. So that's why I'd always start off with going with the most reliable prop firms such as FDMO, MyForex funds, etc. So I took this $300,000 challenge with MyForex funds. To break down the rules of the first phase of a MyForex funds challenge, you have to make 8% profit in an unlimited amount of days with minimum trading days of 5, and you can't lose 5% equity in one day or 12% overall. So my opinion on funded challenges are that they're a very useful tool for undercapitalized traders. However, when looking at the amount of people that fail these challenges, the business model is set up for you to lose. MyForex funds released some statistics in 2021 and only around 20% of traders passed that first phase. So for me, especially when they had the max trading days, the process that I use is waiting for a class A star position and risking a full 1 to 2% on that trade to try and make the 8% to pass the challenge. I often scale into the position. For example, the trade that passed this $300,000 challenge, it was initially a 1% risk and then a 0.5% was scaled in. This meant that as I hit a 6.5 R, I hit 8% when touching my take profit. So as you can see, I took the trade yesterday, giving me $24,000 in profit. I've taken a small trade today with a $1.20 loss because you've got to basically have minimum trading days of 5. So I passed yesterday, that was the first day, and now today, just taking small trades for the rest of the week and Monday next week as well until I can move on to phase 2. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get a few people criticizing me, as you do with any trader. A few people may see that as over-risking, as I've risked a full 1.5% overall. From my own experience with funded challenges, I always try and get phase 1 over and done with as soon as possible. That doesn't mean rushing for a trade. That means waiting for a class A star position and then taking that position and starting the challenge on that trade. Even if you do lose, you've only lost 1.5% or 1% or 2%. But if you win and you get anywhere near a 4 or 5R, you've passed the challenge, or are very close to doing so. Because the way that I look at these funded challenges is, let's say you have a $100,000 account, it's basically just a 10K account on leverage. You only have $10,000 equity and you're meant to make $10,000 in that first month or in that first phase at least. So the way that I look at it is that you've got 10% equity of that 100K and they're looking for you to make 10% profit. So ultimately you have to make 100% of your available equity, which if that was on a personal account would take you months. So moving into the analysis of the position, I wanted to show you this first. This analysis was done at 8:30 in the morning. I placed the trade around 3 p.m. So about 6-7 hours after doing the analysis for this position. As you can see, I'm looking at a change of character here. This is my identify order block, and then I wait for a retest, but this wasn't happening in London session, so I had to wait for the New York session for it to play out. As you can see, about 6-7 hours later, we get confirmation, I'm in the position, and as you can see, we get the reaction that we want, and it does end up hitting the high, and I'll go through it in way more detail now. If you are looking for a place to learn how to trade, WokeFX, where I mentor, are releasing their full mentorship and 2 courses, which include 150 lessons. with access to all my previous trades, weekly analysis, and WokeFX community access too. It's a good place to learn from multiple funded traders and even leaderboard traders. Okay, so we're going to talk through the actual position now. So basically, looking at my analysis, I clearly saw that daily was bullish. Now we've obviously got this movement up, movement down, then a change of character here, pullback, breaker structure, and we're in this swing. So overall swing of the daily is from this low to this high after we caused a breaker structure here. Now we've come back into the discounted price, and ultimately we've got a few areas that we can react to. I've got these two outlined as a more discounted demand, and then you've got this area here which is still in that kind of just coming into that golden zone of fib retracement. Looking at the 4 hourly though, it's a lot clearer and a lot cleaner to somewhere where we could react to. So I just had that outlined. I wasn't looking to take a trade directly from that, but when I went down to the hourly, I started to see some more structure play out. So we're in a clear structure this way, bearish trend obviously in terms of fractal retracement. We're coming back down. It's a retracement on the daily. Everything below the daily is currently bearish. So when I saw this gave me an indication that we're seeing a market shift on the lower time frames to match the daily bias. Okay, so on the 1 hourly, we had a clear downward trend. So these are weak lows, they're getting broken, breaks the structure, here's another break of structure. So this is why it's relevant. So this high broke this low. We've now got a new high created that then did cause another break of structure. Wicky, but in my opinion, still a break of structure. Okay, and this is all happening within a 4 hourly demand. That's in the discounted of the daily Fibonacci retracement for a movement back to the upside. Okay, so once it swept that low, we then saw a change of character. Again, wicky, but still a change of character. So when looking at that, so as soon as I noticed a change of character, I thought, okay, we've got the hourly now moving bullish. And when you actually look at the 4 hourly, again, very wicky, very hard to see. It's better on the lower time frames. But that change of character there is very evident, and this is, and again, not really nicely showing on the 4 hourly and hourly that this is a very nice demand. The reason it's so nice, it's such a nice demand, is because if you look at the influx of buyers coming from this area, and if you look at where it is in the Fibonacci retracement, you've got from here to here, it's perfectly coming into that discounted, literally directly into the golden zone, exactly where this 4 hourly and hourly order block is. It's in a high-ish volume Asian range. I think it was about 36 pips. So you can expect some of the internal order blocks to be respected. So, and that's what happened. We didn't see the sweep of Asian low, but when you go on the 1 minute, once we did come back into this hourly order block, we did see a change of character here, which then gave me, actually had a tighter stop loss. Again, it's about 6.5 R. So the change of character came out here, out of the order block, identified, this is the hourly order block. Oh, this hourly order block here. Then on the 1 minute, we saw the change of character, a lot of inducement, and a lot of liquidity being swept. And then once we retested, which is where I got my entry, I targeted this high, which then played out to a T ultimately. I might have even had a slightly tighter stop loss because I did close out slightly early and I did have take profit. I did enter on a retest, which was a bit, it was just looking for basically an area to scale in. I was looking at, I basically caught the position, again, very nice position around here, just targeting this high. Or was it there? Can't think of the top of my head. I'm pretty sure it was there. And it gave me basically a 2R to then give me the rest of the percentage needed. So that's where I scaled in the extra 0.5% to hit an 8% return that then meant I passed the challenge. And then I just closed out as soon as I hit 8% because there's no point trading once you've passed the challenge already. So that's a very, very quick breakdown of my trade. Oh, sorry, my target wasn't there. My target was up here, which makes a lot more sense. And as you can see, it's a really good order block to trade. Okay, and that is the end of the video. I appreciate everyone that made it all the way to the end and got through all the analysis. As always, if you've got any questions on how I trade, drop me a message on Instagram @RobDono. It is my only account. There are a lot of scams, so make sure you're spelling it right. If you enjoy this type of content and want to see more, make sure to subscribe. It means a lot, and turn notifications on as well.